Hey, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you so very much for joining me. This is the sound of the city with Peter, and it is Thanksgiving Day. Happy Thanksgiving. Once again, you know what? Every day, every moment is really Thanksgiving. It took a long time for me to learn that. In this is episode number 3, I want to talk about our childhoods, our upbringing, what got us to the point to where we were suicidal or now suicidal. I can only speak for myself. I cannot speak for others. But before I proceed, I want to add a story that is real and is difficult, but it exemplifies the horrors of suicide. This really gets down to, for lack of a better way of putting it, the pain experienced by others when a suicide occurs. About 20 years ago, I was working in the intensive care unit in Modesto, and I loved it. It was very challenging, interesting work. I worked with this lady, and of course, she will remain nameless, but let's call her Heart of Gold, because that's what she had. She had a heart of gold. And she was a beautiful, beautiful person, had a beautiful family. It was a pleasure to work with. When I'd go into work and I saw that she was working, I was like, oh, good. We have her with us tonight. One night, a phone call comes into our unit, and it's for her heart of gold. And she picks up the phone, and there is a brief pause of like 2 or 3 seconds. It seemed like a half hour because I was listening. Yeah, I'm nosy. All of a sudden, there's this squeal that came out of her. She was trying to scream, but was suppressing it at the same time. The next thing I remember is that phone dropping to the floor and this flash of navy blue going in front of me because that's what she was wearing that night. The double doors opened and she was gone. Never saw her again. What had happened is she got news from her family or somebody that her son just died. He had committed suicide and he hung himself. That was her reaction. Myself, I thought she was quite composed. If you take everything into consideration, your son has just killed himself. And she just rushes out of there to do whatever she can. God bless her. That's what suicide is. That's what suicide does to a family. Don't do it. Please. There are better options. There is so much to live for. You are not a piece of garbage. People love you. You are not a loser. 1-800-273-8255. That's the Suicide Prevention Hotline. Or if you're really bad and you have no other options, it's you in that front door, or it's you in your plan, call 911. That ambulance will get there quickly, and they will save you. In fact, let's just keep this video about this subject, in that story about my friend who went through such a very difficult, trying situation. I think it stands for itself. It speaks for itself. It's emotional. You can't look away from it. At least I couldn't. Thank you so much for joining me. Happy Thanksgiving.